Good morning, ma'am. Today, our topic is all about the summary of El Filibusterismo. So, when Rizal published the Noli Me Tangere in 1887, he was a very young man hoping that education and peaceful reform could save the Philippines. So, by the time he began writing his Zikal, the Noli Me Tangere, the Filibusterismo rather, the world has changed. So he had witnessed his family being evicted in their land in Calamba and also his friend being exiled and continued suffering of his countrymen. So filibusterismo often referred to simplify as a fili the first zikel of Rizal's first novel, Di Noli Me Tangere, while Di Noli Me Tangere is written in a spirit of hope and reform, while the filibusterismo was much darker and more political work.
Rizal's second work, intended as Ezekiel Tunoli Mitangere, was written in Spanish as well. The Reign of Greed, English translation of El Filibusterismo. 38 chapters. In October 1887, Rizal started writing his second novel. It was first published in 1891 in Ghent, Belgium.
So Rizal began his writing in October 1887 and finally saw it published in 1891. So it was printed in Ghent, Belgium, primarily because printing cost there was cheaper than in the other European cities. So the English translation of filibusterismo is the reign of greed, and also it was consists of 38 chapters.
El Filibusterismo is Rizal's masterpiece. The three slain priests, Mariano Gomez, Jose Borges, and Jacinto Zamora, whose death left unforgettable impact on his mind, inspired him to write Filibusterismo. Rizal dedicated it to them, starting his belief that the Spanish rules treated them unjustly and killed them. In contrast to Noli Me Tangere, where people were encouraged to ask for and aspire for change and liberty, Rizal pushed society to open its eyes to reality and fight against the Spanish government oppression and abuse in El Filibusterismo.
So the central theme of the filibusterismo is Rizal's dedicated to three martyr priests. We have Mariano Gomez, Jose Borges, and Jacinto Zamora, collectively known as Gomborza. Their unjust executed by Garrett in 1872 had profound impact on Rizal's young minds. So he used his novel to expose the fake government cruelties and the corruption of Spanish priors.
El Filibusterismo, filibustering in Spanish. The subversive or subversion, as in English translation, the terrible execution of Gomborza in 1872 was the first time it was heard. This term is used by Manila newspapers and Spaniards to describe someone they want to level as a revolutionary suspect. In the Philippines, the term subversive was coined to expose the fake government cruelties, graft, and corruptions, as well as to demonstrate the wrongdoings of Filipino that lead to greater failure.
So pag 19th century, a filibustero was someone labeled as a subversive or the revolutionary suspect. So this was a very dangerous level because the Spanish used it to silence those who spoke out against the government.
The printing of El Filibusterismo. Rizal made sure that he could find a printing shop that could provide him with the lowest quotation as possible for the successful publication of his novel. Also, during the time Rizal became so eager and desperate because his funds are really abrupt, causing him to experience delays on publishing his novel. But blessing in disguise, as we consider Rizal received some money from Basa, who is wealth merchant, and Rizal's friend who helped him, and 200 pesos from Rodriguez Arias for the copies of Morgan's Sucesos sold in Manila. But then again, these funds was also used up. On the 6th of August, the printing had to be suspended and Rizal's feared for his moment to arrive. But again, it happened and he could no longer provide funds to the printer.
So in this part, this is the struggle of publications of Rizal's book. So Rizal faced extreme financial hardship while trying to get the book printed. It wasn't just a literary struggle, pero and also it was a battle of survival. So Rizal searched for the lowest printing quotations and leave Pragali to save money. So at this point, Rizal was nasuspend iyahang writing in ay on August 6 because he was simply run out of funds. So nahutda na siya of funds. So at this point, he received some financial help from Jose Maria Basa and used funds from the sale copies of Morgan's Sucesos. So the Philly was published through the help of Valentin Ventura. So si Valentin Ventura was the close and key supporters of Jose Rizal in the Europe. So in short, Philly was written to open the minds of Filipino to the reality of Spanish oppressions. So it moved away from asking for liberty through soft reform and instead demonstrated how systematic corruption, graft, and wrongdoings of both colonizers and colonized lead to failure and suffering. So while the Noli Me Tangere was diagnosed of social cancer, the Philly also was a warming of coming revolution.
Simon, the continuation of the characters of Christine Ibarra disguised is the wealthy of jeweler Ben starting a revolution using his will of announcing encourage the people with experience abused to join him to this rebellion against crunch and the government. So Simon is actually Coristimo Abara from Noli Natangiri, whose return to El Filibusterismo under the new name of this guys is pretend to be a wealthy jeweler. So, so he represent ideas to radical change and revenge and believing that only thought force of rebellion can system be a overthrow. So, Basilio, she's the son of was adopted to by Capitan Tiago, boyfriend of Julie, and aspiring doctor. So Basilio he is the son of Sisa, logical character from Noli Natangere is was later adapted to Capitan Tiago. He is the boyfriend of Julie and studying become a doctor. So next is Sigani. Sigani poet to Basilio, best friend, portrayal of emotional and reactive student leader of Paulita Gomez boyfriend before being adapt fellow student of Juanito Pelas. So Stegani is a poet of Basilio best friend and a student leader. So he represents to idealistic, passionate youth who fight for reform of freedom of expression. Thought is also vulnerable and heartbreak and disappointment. So Kabisang Talis formed to Kabisa di Barangay. Barangay head of was no lesson bandits of Matanglawin. Is was Kabisang di Barangay, Barangay Hall barangay head of local leaders. So it symbolizes common people's punch to their limits. The story show how opinion abuse from authorized can turn a peaceful citizen into the revolutionary. So Don Don Costello, the famous journalist, was asking to the student about this decision for the Academia di Cantillano. In reality, his was tweet of the ordinary fellow of Manila high societies. So he is now the famous of journalist, but in reality is the ordinary man of married in will to gain to status of Manila high societies. So, Paulita Gomez, the girlfriend of Sagani and nice past herself of Barney Solas and end of she is Jonito Talis, where use and she is dumped Isagani and believing this they have a future and she is married in him. So she is Isagani girlfriend and niece of Donna Victoria. She is actually India descent but pretend to be a Peninsula Spaniard and born to Spain to appear from a pretensions. She is actually lives as Ghani and married Honito Palace and believing that marrying him will secure her future and society standing. So the father of Florento Isagani, godfather and cultural prince, was engaged to be married but chose to be a friend to after being his decision as choice and assignment assignment to a remote place and living solitude so near the sea. So he is the secular prince of Bisagani, godfather, and like religions, other secular pretends are not bound to be a specific religion communities or under the jurisdiction of local bishop. Godfather Budnista ni Isagani. So the last is Jolie. Juliana Jos, the girlfriend of Basilio and the youngest daughter in Kabisang Talis. Younger 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 daughter manghod ni sa ni Kabisang Talis. She is the youngest daughter of Kabisang Talis and their girlfriend was Basilio. So his life's mate to hardship, the family lost their land and thus suffered a great operation and she even had to walk as a way to raise the money to be free, a brother of help to her family. So mara to ha, thank you.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Sir Ibanez, and this is the next topic. Binside. Abraham Ibanez is the real name. He is a journalist who thought he was the only one thinking in the Philippines. So, he is a journalist who holds the arrogant belief that he is the only person capable of critical thinking in the entire Philippines. Placido Penitente, a student at the University of Santo Tomas who was very intelligent and wise but did not want, if not only by his mother Plea, to pursue his studies. A student of the University of Santo Tomas, he is Father Fernandez, the prize friend of the Isagani. He promised Isagani that he the other prize will give in the student demand. He gave his word to Isagani that he and other prize will concede to the student demand, showing his willingness to listen and negotiate with the youth. Attorney Pasta, one of the great lawyers in the Middle Hispanic Manila. He recognized as one of the most prominent and skilled lawyers in the Manila during the Hispanic period. He represents the legal profession and intellectual elite of the area. Piruga. a Chinese businessman who dreamed of being consul of a consulate of China. In the Philippines, he keeps Samo's weapon inside his house. A Chinese man business residing in the Philippines, he aspired to be appointed as the consul of a Chinese consulate in the country, reflecting his desire of the official recognition and status. Tandang Selo, father of the Kabisang tile, he resided to seek an young Basilio after his mother Sisa has died. After Sisa's death, he took in the cared for her son Basilio, who was then young and unwell, serving as a guardian and provider during the boy time of need. Captain General, no specific name, the powerful highest official in the Philippines. He held the highest and most powerful official position in the Philippines during the Spanish colonial period, represent the ultimate governing authority in the colony. Padre Sibayla. Ayun. Padre Sibayla. Himando de la Sibila.
Synopsis of El Filibusterismo. The story of El Filibusterismo revolves around its main character, Simon, who is an affluent jeweler. Simon is actually Crisostomo Ibarra of the Noli Me Tangere, whom everyone thought had been killed by the Guardia Civil at Laguna de Bay. He had escaped, fled to Cuba, become wealthy and made connections with influential Spanish officials. Upon his return to the Philippines, after many years, he becomes very influential as the Governor General, who owes so much to him, consults him in making decisions. In, However, in reality, everything Simon does is just part of his grand plan to take revenge against the Spanish officials and rescue Maria Clara from the convent. Planning to stage a revolution, he smuggles arms and looks for followers, mainly from the exploited and abused natives. One of his recruits is Basilio, the son of Sisa, who with Capitan Chagos' help was able to study in Manila. Simon also makes an alliance with the revolutionary group of Kabisang Tales, a former Kabisad di Barangay who suffered maltreatments from the hands of the friars. Using his influence, Simon encourages corruption, decadence, and more oppressive government policies so that the citizens may become more infuriated. However, one night the plan revolt was not carried out because Simon, upon hearing that Maria Clara died in the mannery, decided not to give the signal for the outbreak of the uprising. Another plan was made some months later at the venue of the wedding reception of Juanito Pelaez and Paulette Gomez. Simon planted many explosives, enough to kill the invited guests, primarily the friars and the government officials. According to the plot, the big explosion shall be started by the gift he would give to the newlyweds. At the reception, a kerosene lamp with an explosive. So, pabuto to na. When the lamp flickers and someone turns the wick, it will result in a big explosion that will become a signal to the revolutionary troops to simultaneously attack all the government buildings in Manila.
During the reception, Simon gave his gift to the newlyweds. Before hurriedly leaving the venue, he left a piece of mysterious paper bearing the message, "You will die tonight," signed by Juan Crisostomo Ibarra. Meanwhile, Isagani, the rejected lover of Paulita, is standing outside the reception. His friend Basilio tells him to leave the place because the lamp will soon blow up. Sa gitna ng masayang pagdiriwang, nagbigay ng regalo si Simon sa bagong kasal. Ngunit bago siya tuluyang umalis, iniwan niya ang isang misteryosong liham na may nakababahalang mensahe, "You will die tonight," na pirmado bilang Juan Crisostomo Ibarra. Samantala, sa labas ng lugar ng handaan, matatagpuan si Isagani, ang dating manliligaw ng nobya. Ayon sa kanyang kaibigang si Basilio, kinakailangan na niyang umalis agad sa lugar dahil ang regalong lampara ay inaasahang sasabog anumang oras. Sa kabuuan, ang masayang selebrasyon ay nauwi sa isang mapanganib na sitwasyon dahil sa lihim na plano ni Simon. Simon then takes poison that he would not be kept alive. As the poison effects start to take toll on his body, he confesses to Florento his true identity and his plan of revenge through bloody revolution. After the emotional and agonizing confession of the dying man, the prince absolves the dying man from his sins, saying, "God will forgive you, Senior Simon. He knows that we are fallible. He has seen that you have suffered. He has frustrated your plan one by one. First by the death of Maria Clara, then by a lack of preparation. Then in some mysterious way, let us bow to his will and render him thanks." Sa isang dramatikong pangyayari, si Simon ay nagpasyang uminom ng lason upang hindi mahuli ng buhay ng mga otoridad. Habang unti-unting humihina ang kanyang katawan dahil sa epekto ng lason, inamin niya kay Padre Florencio ang kanyang tunay na pagkatao at ang planong paghihiganti sa pamamagitan ng marahas na revolusyon. Sa kanyang huling sandali, nagkaroon ng emosyonal na pag-amin ang paghihingalong si Simon. Bilang tugon, pinapatawad siya ng pari at ipinahayag na ang Diyos ay nagpapatawad sa mga nagkakasala. Ayon pa kay Padre Florento, ang mga kabiguan ni Simon, kabilang ang pagkamatay ni Maria Clara, at ang kakulangan sa paghahanda ay patunay na hindi naging tama ang kanyang mga pamamaraan. Dagdag pa niya, dapat tanggapin ang kalooban ng Diyos at magpasalamat sa kabila ng lahat ng pagsubok. Iyan ang kabuuan ng ulat sa trahedyang sinapit ni Simon. When Father Salve identifies the handwriting in the note and confirms that it was indeed Ibarra's, the guests began to panic. When the lamp flickers, Father Irene tries to turn the wick up, but Isagani, wanting to save Paulita's life, rushes into the house, grabs the lamp, and throws it into the river, where it explodes. Simon's revolutionary plot was discovered and he is hunted by the Guardia Civil. He managed to escape but was seriously wounded. Carrying his jeweler chest, he finds shelter in the home of Padre Florento, learning of his presence in the house of the priest. The lieutenant of the Guardia Civil informs Padre Florento that he will come in the evening to arrest Simon. Nagkaroon ng matinding kaguluhan matapos makilala ni Padre Salve ang sulat kamay sa isang liham na pinapaniwalaan kay Crisostomo Ibarra. Dahil dito, nagsimulang magpanik ang mga panauhin sa loob ng bahay. Sa gitna ng tensyon, biglang kumurap ang lampara habang sinusubukang ayusin ni Padre Irene ang metsa nito. Ngunit sa isang kabayanihang hakbang, agad na kumilos si Isagani upang iligtas si Paulita Gomez. Kanyang inagaw ang lampara at itinapon ito sa ilog kung saan ito sumabog. Samantala, Nabunyag ang revolusyonaryong plano ni Simon at siya ay hinabol ng mga otoridad, partikular ang ng Guardia Civil. Bagamat sugatan, nagawa niyang makatakas at magtungo sa tahanan ni Padre Florento upang doon magtungo. Ayon sa ulat, nalaman ng isang tenyente ng Guardia Civil ang kanyang kinakaroonan at planong arestuhin si Simon sa gabi ring iyon. The story ends with the priest throwing Simon's treasures into the sea so that they would not be used by the greedy. The priest hopes that when the right time comes, they would be recovered and used only for the good. The end of the story. Nagtapos ang kwento sa pagtatago ng pari ng mga kayamanan ni Simon sa dagat upang hindi magamit ang mga sakim. Umaasa ang pari na kapag dumating ang tamang panahon, ang mga ito ay mababawi at magagamit lamang para sa kabutihan.